Maybe let me just start off by asking you, what exactly are your ambitions and what are you planning to do to become a hub for semiconductors?
First of all, thank you for having me in the show. The purpose of National Semiconductor Hub in Saudi Arabia is pretty simple. Over the next 5 years to 6 years, we would like to have approximately 50 fabless chip design companies to be relocated or started here. And the whole point is that we would like to see in the region the design activity take off. Obviously, there are other parts of our vision which are working on fab and package and test. But the purpose of the National Semiconductor Hub is to put together a package of incentives, training programs, financing, and many other aspects of the whole ecosystem so that we can welcome companies from all over the world and make this into a very interesting place, a simple place where people can come and do what they do best, design chips. And that is the purpose of National Semiconductor Hub over the next 5 years.
Yeah, so it seems as though the ambition is squarely focused on manufacturing and designing some of those lower technology type of chips. I do wonder to what extent you're going to run into issues from a geopolitical standpoint, and this has come up in conversations the U.S. and China, but increasingly the U.S. have set their eyes on the Middle East as a region to watch because there are concerns about the passage of the information that those chips hold potentially onto China as a final customer. What do you say to those who are concerned?
So I think the chips that we are focusing on are the kind of chips that go in all kinds of things. They go in cars, they go in microwaves, they go in refrigerators, things like that, right? Those are the chips that are needed by everybody all over the world. It's not needed by one nation or the other, right? So, and those chips are already available. They are available from different regions. Our goal is to create this capacity so that if our region, let's say, needs chips for these everyday use, are they available to us? Are they available to us in the cost that we need? Are they available with the supply chain constraints and other things that we have seen in the past? Can we avoid those? So the purpose really is not to really go work on any controversial chips or cutting edge chips and things like that. Anyway, we do not have the human resource to work on chips like that. We want to build the human resource. We want to build the ecosystem to work on the kind of chips that we can do in the next 5-7 years. Once we have that capability, then we can start doing a little bit more complicated chips or more interesting chips after that. So it has to be a stage approach. So our focus right now has to be on doing the kind of chips that we can do in the region with the talent that we have, with the IP that we have, with the ecosystem that we can build.
How challenging do you think it's going to be to build up that ecosystem that is required to build the fabs that you talk about? And the fact that, you know, this is a business of scale. If you want to make money, you have to produce at scale. To make the scale, you need a lot of investment. You need the full ecosystem in space. How challenging is it going to be to get what you need in terms of the people and also the factories?
So the focus of the National Semiconductor Hub is fabless designs, which means we are not focusing on the factories. We plan to use the factories in Taiwan. We plan to use the factories in Korea and elsewhere, wherever we need those factories. Our focus is on fabless design, chip design. So we plan to train, hire, relocate, pick a number around 3,000 engineers who will be working in these 50 fabless design companies. So the challenge that we have to overcome is, can we train local Saudis, pick a number around 2,500, something like that, relocate people from, let's say, Pakistan, Egypt, Bangladesh, and other surrounding countries into this region, and also create an environment, EDA tools, flows, and everything else that is needed to build this fabless. We have done this before. We have done this in parts of US. We have done that in Vietnam. We have done that in India. So we have done this before. This is not something that is something we are doing for the first time. Yes, it takes time. So we have 5 to 6 years. Yet it takes training. Yet it is challenging. But Saudi Arabia today has three things going for it, which I believe will make it easier for us. One, it has a vision. The leadership has a vision that we want to build something in semiconductor fabless design over the next 5 years. Number two, we have the capital that we can deploy, not just in the funds that we have ourselves in the National Semiconductor Hub, but all the consortium that is supporting us. And the third thing, we have a very large pool of resource from the surrounding countries from which we can train them, move them here, or they don't even have to move here. They could work in the design centers in their countries, supporting the companies here. So these are the three things which I believe is going to help us to overcome the challenges. In fabless design, I'm not talking about chip design factories and packaging. That's a very different business. It has a different economics, and you're right.
Yeah.
You have to be pretty full on those fabs to really make any money.
Yeah, very clear. Now, I know the government has announced a series of incentives to get companies and businesses involved. Can you give us more color on what type of incentives you're providing, and also which firms have expressed interest?
Yes. So I think our incentive package has about 10 different incentives. And those incentives include like free rent. I mean, if you are going to move your center here, we'll provide that. It also includes salary support for the Saudis that you will hire. We also provide loans. If you have an accepted term sheet, we can provide you some loans. We have working capital loans. We also have some equity injection that we can make in your company. So a complete list of incentives range from things like salary support, rent, all the way to data center support, meaning you need data center for your data or you need tools all across the board. Since we have been in this business for 35, 40 years, we need exactly what the fabulous design companies need in order to focus on what they need to focus on. Our real purpose of incentives is that our CEOs should work on building chips. They shouldn't be running around for money. They should be running around to find talent. They shouldn't be running around to find location for their companies, looking for immigration support or other registration, things like that. The National Semiconductor Hub will provide all those facilities to our CEOs so that they can focus on what they do best, build chips. And I think that's what the purpose of our incentives are.